Turning now to a major political issue. Since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year, pro-choice advocates across the country have been hard at work trying to legalize abortion in states that banned it after the court's decision. Pro-life groups are pushing back. CBN contributing correspondent Paul Petit takes a closer look at what they're up against.
Decline to sign is the theme of Arkansas pro-life advocates as they fight to keep a state abortion ban in place.
Arkansas is the most pro-life state in the union. The only reason that a woman could get an abortion in the state of Arkansas is for a medical emergency.
The goal of these rallies, keep voters from signing to add an amendment initiative to the November ballot. The amendment aims to enshrine abortion access in the state constitution. Arkansas was one of 13 states with a trigger law, which banned abortion after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June. The Dobbs ruling allows states to decide. So far, abortion advocates have seen success in 6 states to make abortion legal again through the voting process. In 2024, there are efforts in as many as 13.
The key thing to know about these ballot initiatives all across the country is that they permanently change state constitutions. Your elected officials cannot go back and reverse the effects of these abortion amendments should they make it into your state constitution.
90,000 signatures must be gathered by July 5th to get the measure on the Arkansas November ballot. Local abortion advocates are confident they'll reach that number.
We have momentum on our side. So Ohio, Kansas, Kentucky with the governor's race, Michigan, all of these states give us hope that through the direct action of people, we can restore some access for abortion services in this state. This is a great amendment for people who have nuanced views or might identify as more in the middle.
According to Arkansas pro-life groups, what abortion advocates are not telling people at these signature drives is how their efforts, if successful, will open the floodgates to abortion on demand at places like this and throughout Arkansas.
It's an extremely deceptive amendment.
They want abortion legal for any reason up to 18 weeks, which is basically 20 weeks for the baby. And then after that, it would be for, in the exception of rape, incest, or the health of the mother. And health can be defined as I'm feeling depressed. And the definition of health is by the abortionist.
How do you think that women or any voter who believes that abortion should be allowed if the mother's life at risk, how do you think they would respond if they knew the real language?
If they knew that this law will make null and void all of the pro-life laws in the state of Arkansas. That means no parental consent for minors. That means no health inspections on the abortion centers. If they knew the full extent, the extreme nature of this amendment, they would be against it.
In an effort to keep the measure off the ballot, Arkansas pro-life organizations, churches, legislators, and citizens are joining forces to educate and mobilize.
In a matter of a week and a half, members from the Arkansas Coalition for Life, or NWA Coalition for Life, had gone to over 300 churches in the Northwest Arkansas area. And so we've taken that strategy and we've started doing it all across the state.
Pro-life advocates say they'll continue the fight to ensure abortion access that voters approved in other states doesn't happen in Arkansas.
It's so important that we win. It is a life or death situation.
In Arkansas, Paul Petit, CBN News.
That battle in Arkansas is likely what we're going to see play out in state after state across the country. Gordon?
Yes, and welcome to messy democracy. And this is the consequence of Roe v. Wade being overturned. I obviously applaud that. I'm pro-life. But now we're into how does each state determine their laws? And so it's up to us in the pro-life community to get involved and, more importantly, stay involved. Don't think that the battle's been won. It hasn't. We're now into the messy part of it, which is how our states are going to determine their laws on abortion. But I would encourage you to stay involved even after the legislation, because we need a culture that supports mothers. We need a culture that supports children. If you're facing economic uncertainty because you're pregnant, well, we need to come alongside you and say, no, there's no uncertainty here. We're here for you. We want to help you. We want to encourage life, and we want to support life. So this is more than just legislation. It's more than just legal battles. It's a battle for mothers, and how can we help them as a culture and as a society. So be dedicated to life, and not just for short-term bursts, but depending on constitutional amendments or current legislation. Get involved. There are plenty of crisis pregnancy centers. There are plenty of areas where you can get involved financially. You can volunteer your time. But most importantly, mothers in America need to know we stand with them, and we're with them all the way through.